What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with that analysis breakdown on Paolo Banchero. He's the rookie of the year so far because he's just so relentless getting to the basket. He has the ability to get there all the way from the top of the key straight down. He can finish with two hands. He can finish with one hand. He can even finish with a layup um, coming straight at you. And he can even finish in the mid of the court just because he has good balance. He has good patience and he has good eyesight, knowing where to be at on the court. I feel like that's something important. I love the fact that he can even use angles. He's not the fastest or the quickest guy, but he's smart, knowing when to attack and knowing when you're behind, knowing how to use his first step. He can do it without even using screens just because he's just that patient, just that smart to figure out when is the right time to use his speed and quickness and burst to the basket. As you can see, he loves the semi-transition too, just because he's big and physical. And if he comes at you, you're going to get out the way just because you don't want to get knocked around. He can absorb contact too and finish with the right or the left hand. I think that's impressive for a guy of his size to be able to run, be under control, be able to handle the ball, and be able to get it off at a high clip volume wise. I think that he needs to improve his contortion with the basketball in midair. But other than that, he has been great being physical and being a beast, going straight at the basket without being scared of being blocked or his shot being contested, even though he can work on finishing at the rim a little bit better. I feel like he also can use floaters and bank shots to get it off a little late. He can still use the backboard to put the ball in the basket. I like the fact that he reads the court well and makes the right decision, even if it's passing the ball to the shooters like Franz, like Fultz, and other guys like Bo that can knock down shots from the perimeter. I also like the fact that he gives the ball up early. He's not a ball hog. He loves to get the ball and gives it up if he doesn't see an opportunity to score or he sees a guy open. He'll just let it fly. He got soft touch, so he can even pass lobs to Wendell Carter or Bo or whatever big they decide to put up with him in the future. I love the fact that he also can find people cutting to the basket with his ability to be patient and give the ball up if he doesn't see something happening. He's not going to force anything most of the time. He's just going to give it up and find somebody for easy opportunity. That team-centric basketball is a good thing to build with a young team that's trying to grow together and trying to build good chemistry together. I feel like if they all play together and they all make each other better, that just make the team better in general. And that's a good thing that your best player and your best scorer wants to facilitate too and find guys, whether they're cutting or open at the three-point line. And the fact that he has the size already to see over the defense just makes it easier to find these options, and it's just about making the right pass and using a soft touch and just making sure it's on target and precise. And he has been able to do that at a decent level. He still turns it over a lot when it comes to handling the ball, but when he's in the post or at the top of the key, he can make the simple, easy passes, and I think that that's important. The mid-range game is something that he's improving on. He can pull up contested mid-ranges. I prefer him to come off a screen or a dribble handoff and just be able to pick and pop. I think that the mid-range game is something that he needs if he wants to be a higher scorer in the NBA level and he wants to be more efficient. But if it's open, he can knock it down, and he can knock it down at a good level, not great or elite. I feel like when you look at the post, he's still working on that. He has a good turnaround and a good spin move to create space to be able to knock down jump shots. I love the fact that he uses it to even get floaters off, and that's a high quality shot because your whole area of your side of the court is clear when he spins, and then it's just about putting the ball in the basket. And the fact that he can also do it with jump shots, it clears the space, so that way he has the space to get a clean look at the basket, and that's basically an open shot because he utilized it the right way. Good footwork from Paolo Banchero, and I like the three-point shot. He hasn't shot it well from three in college or in high school or so far in the NBA. I think that's the last thing of his game he needs to unlock besides the mid-range jump shot. It's hard to knock down contested threes for anybody, but he shows potential to be able to knock those down, and he's showing that he can do it at the NBA range. I do like the fact that he's willing to take spot ups too. He doesn't just turn them down all the time. He sets his feet, he gets in rhythm, He has a good form. He has good touch already. It's just about continuing to practice and get them off clean and crisp. And that's the toughest thing to do because the NBA job is to make sure everything is tough and contested. But I love his patience, and his defense is something that he can improve on. He can get steals, he can get blocks. He just has to want to do it. He just has to use his body and his length and his size to get it done. But he can get blocks. I think he can average 1 block a game in his career just because he's just that big, just that physical, and he can cover a lot of space. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and more breakdowns on the way.